Okay, guys, so you were supposed to see a rehouse video today. I did the rehouse, I did the video, and then I deleted the video. After I finished the video, I was watching it. One of my two dogs was wanting to play. He kept bringing me the toy. I kept throwing it. So my mind was sidetracked. I watched the video. When I finished the video, I was getting ready to share it on the photo app on my phone. Below the picture or a video is the share icon, or right next to it, the trash can icon. Of course, like other devices, when you hit delete, of course it asks you to confirm that. Well, I was so distracted that I hit yes, and then as soon as I did, I realized what I had done, and so I completely erased the rehouse video. Basically, this is how it went down. I was saying that this tarantula had needed a rehouse for the last couple of weeks or so, and I was having trouble finding an enclosure the right size for it. The only options I have in this little small town that I live in are Walmart, and I don't have transportation to go to another town to look for an enclosure. So, Walmart, they have all those Sterilite containers, but it seemed like anything that was bigger than this one, which is what it came out of, was 15 to 18 inches tall, and I felt that was just too tall for this tarantula. And as you can see, it's on the side of the enclosure now. That's where it's been spending a lot of time lately. And I didn't want to risk a fall because this tarantula is quite precious to me, so I decided against those enclosures, and I gave up for about a week or two. And then I went back today. I found this tub here, which was actually, it was part of a food storage set. It was a 92-piece thing. There were lots of other small storage containers inside this one, but I saw this container and I thought, man, this thing is perfect. This will work out just fine. So I did the rehouse. Like I said, I erased the video, and you'll notice too that I used a soldering iron to make the holes. I got a comment from someone in one of my other rehouse videos because I used a drill, and they made the comment they did not like to use a drill because it made sharp edges or whatever. So I used a soldering iron. Now you can see which tarantula it is. This is my female Harpactira pulchripes. The transfer went pretty well. I took this cup that I have here, and I cupped it over her in the enclosure, and she turned on the stick a couple of times, and then I managed to her webbing here, the entire top of her substrate in the other enclosure was webbing, and so I managed to the webbing kind of made a lid, if you will, to this cup. So I just kind of closed her in there and then gently set her and the webbing down in here, and then that was it. It was real easy. But I was mentioning as I was doing that transfer that I finally got a name for her. I didn't want to name her until I knew for sure that it was a female. And of course, she molted a month ago, and now we know I was able to sex the molt. Now we know that it is a female. And so I asked some of you guys for some suggestions for names. I got some suggestions, and I want to thank everyone that did give me name suggestions. But I finally came up with a name for her. Her name is now Phoebe. Phoebe in Greek mythology was Helen's sister. Most of you who know mythology may know that Helen was the most beautiful woman that ever lived. The face that launched 1,000 ships, that whole story, you know that. But Phoebe was her sister. Phoebe also means brilliant or shining, so I thought that was a really fitting name for her. So she is now in a much better, much larger enclosure. And I think this one is just perfect size for her. Much better than the 15 to 18 inch tall enclosures that Sterilite makes. So I'm pretty happy with it. I think she'll be happy with it. She's got her webbing in there to make her feel at home. So there it is. I'm so sorry, guys. Stupid of me to delete the video. I should have been paying attention, but I wasn't. I was pretty upset when I did it. I was pretty upset, mostly at myself, because I wasn't paying attention. But Now we've got her rehoused. We'll have some better update videos on her in a week or two. Once she's kind of settled in, I'll do an update on how she's getting along in her new home. But before I end this video, I want to do one more little update. So let's get around to that. All right, so in the last week, I've had 3 molts. I would be updating on all 3 of them, but 2 of them are hiding right now. This one's actually hiding, but I will actually be able to show it to you. Um, the little jumping spider that I found outside a few weeks ago, it molted, and it no longer has an orange spot. It has white spots like every other Phytobis audax. And my Brachypelm albiceps, it actually molted about a week and a half ago. And I tried to feed it just a couple of days ago, a week after it molted, and it rejected the food. So I took the food out after several hours of it being in there. It's down in its little burrow where we can't really see it. Again, like I said, this one is hiding, but I will be able to show this one to you. This is a molt that I was pretty excited about. This is my Grammostola pulchra, my Brazilian black. Now, when I first got this thing, it was constantly excavating from underneath this cork bark and closing off the front of this thing here, and I would come in and just move the substrate out of the way just to open up the entrance or whatever. And I was doing that about a week ago, and I noticed that the tarantula looked pretty shiny, and of course I looked right next to it, and sure enough, there was a molt. So I was pretty excited about that, and there it is down in there. Hold on, guys, let me get a better light. All right, here we go. So there it is. The best that you can see it there. You can see that it is starting to show some of those adult colors. It's starting to turn black. So I'm really, really excited about that. When I got this thing, it was probably 1.5 inches. I'm guessing it's 1.75 inches, maybe 2 inches now at the most. So I'm pretty excited about that. That is basically the end of this video. Again, I'm sorry that you didn't get to see the rehouse, but at least you got to see that she's in a new home now. Before I end this video again here, I just wanted to dedicate this video to a man that has probably had a part in all of our lives at some point. Stan Lee of Marvel Comics, many of you know, passed away a couple of days ago at the age of 95. He co-founded Marvel Comics, Spider-Man, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, all that stuff. And so I just wanted to dedicate this video to Mr. Stan Lee of Marvel Comics. Thank you, Stan, for being a part of our lives for so long. You know, he was part of so many lives, young and old, for at least 4 generations. And his legacy will not soon fade away. So, Stan, thank you so much for all you have given us and entertaining us over the decades. That's all I've got. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up and a comment. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down and a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and share. I hope you guys all have a great night. Take care of each other and yourselves. God bless.